Nothing too fancy here. A lot of 1-ofs in the main deck. A Rakdos Return, a Murder, a Dreadbore, and a Mizium Mortars. Sideboard features, again, a lot of 1-ofs. So in this matchup, he's probably, I would imagine, wanting to get a little more creature removal oriented, trying to break up some of the stuff that Anthony's up to. Another Dreadbore, a Rolling Tumbler, another Bonfire, and an Olivia. I think you kind of want that sort of stuff here.
So we are going to be moving into Game 3 here. 4-color Staticaster versus Yund. Two players who are currently 5-1. We've got some X ones here for you guys, looking to make a deep run into this tournament. Pretty important match here, as the winner will still be top 8 eligible.
Yes.
I think things do probably favor Jund a little bit, just because there are so much removal in their deck. This deck, the 4-color Staticaster deck, a lot of creatures, then 4 Farseeks, 3 Domri Rats, and 4 Tracker Instincts. So Domri can help get some things off of the board, but besides that, not a lot of ways where Jund has no problem keeping the board relatively clear between those Bonfire the Damned and everything else they can do.
Yeah, but again, Jund in almost all of his matchups, I feel, has the problem of it needs the right mixture of early plays, main acceleration, creatures, and if your draw is lopsided in any one of those directions, a creature deck with sufficient power can still be able to take the game down, even though the matchup in the abstract is bad.
Yeah. So we're going to have Anthony be on the play this game, as both players are going to finish shuffling up. And we'll see them both play out of 7. Hopefully they can't keep 7. We can have a good Game 3 here for you guys. People commenting here on the Rug Flash deck that we just had on camera, wondering what it's going to take to kind of push that deck over the top. Is Domri a good fit in that deck? Doesn't seem that way.
Yeah.
Not enough creatures.
No, not enough creatures. And a lot of the creatures lose a lot of value once your opponent knows about them too.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Yeah. One player saying that maybe the issue is that there's just no good card drawing spells, and no Sphinx's Revelation for them, which I think it's easy to agree with that. That's part of the reason that you do see the Hallowed Fountain-esque decks do so well. It's because they do have access to cards like Revelation and Azorius Charm to both buy themselves some time and smooth their draws. So maybe the next set in Dragon's Maze brings something for the Red Flash deck. Raul Zarek is probably a decent start.
Oh yeah, I mean, that card slots right in.
We'll see. Anthony's going to take a mulligan. And CJ looks happy enough. So you're going to see him go down a little bit here. Again, feel free to chime in with us if you like at SCG Live, hashtag SCGMKE. I've got my computer open looking at tweets right now. We do have a player from South Africa taking a watch. That's far away.
It is
where we are.
Yeah, but the internet is like physical distance doesn't actually mean all that much when it comes to doing. It's not like a telescope.
Oh,
it's well, whatever.
The internet's awesome.
It is pretty insane.
That's a great thing. I'll tell you what. Thank goodness for Al Gore making the internet.
Wow. Anthony looks like lands and spells, so I assume we're going to be keeping here.
Almost certainly a keep, right? You see a Rootbound Crag, a couple other lands. Looks like a Domri Rat over there as well. Yep, there's an Overgrown Tomb. So we are off. Game number 3 here, as CJ does draw a Hunt Master of the Fells, it looks like. Going to play a Blood Crypt and pass the turn back. He has a blacked out card in his hand. I'm trying to guess what that is.
Hunt Master of the Fells.
I'm pretty sure it's Hunt Master, but I've been wrong before. We'll be wrong again. Farseek here from Anthony, going to be able to fix his mana really quickly. You see his hand, he has a Thragtusk over there, a Domri, a Stomping Ground. Just wants to figure out what color to get that 4-color deck all the way online.
Farseek does so much the cheats in terms of gluing these 4-color decks together.
Yeah.
When you have a Farseek, it actually makes it all look like a free roll, basically.
Ground Seal to draw here for CJ this turn. There's a Rootbound Crag, and he has a Farseek as well, so he's going to be able to keep up with Anthony over the course of this game. Pretty important there, I'd say.
Yes.
When one player Farseeks and the other one doesn't, it's a pretty different game.
Yeah. And finds an Overgrown Tomb.
So let's see if Anthony's going to have a good follow-up here after he is going to have his deck shuffled here by CJ. We'll see if either one of these players can actually get a threat onto the board and start clocking the other opponent.
Yeah, once we're entering this kind of stage of the game, it's often about just cranking out the most haymakers.
Rights and lefts we go. There's a draw for Anthony. What did you draw, my friend?
I believe it was a breeding pool.
It is a breeding pool. So it's going to be a Domri raid. That's going to start the turn. Elevator is going up.
Check out the top. Nope.
Sulphur Falls is not a creature. So in and play tapped as a breeding pool, and he's going to pass back. Let's see what CJ's turn is going to be.
Domri raid is pretty unfun to miss with, because not only did you miss, but it's like, oh, also, buddy, your next draw step, that's a Sulphur Falls on top. Also,
it's a horrible feeling. As is playing, it's Olivia Valderin. So CJ has one of his prime threats in play. As Anthony does draw that Sulphur Falls that he didn't know about. You would think the card would go to the bottom instead of having to look at it, put it back, and then draw it. You would think.
Red-green isn't really a looting color combination.
That's true. Faithless Looting is not red.
So we're going to have Frag Tusk fight through Domri raid. It's going to get a trade and a beast left over. Liliana the Veil.
It's all about containing this Domri now, right?
Yes.
Untapped Blood Crypt here from CJ. Going to push him down to 18.
It's fairly easy to attrition him out once you've...
I see his plan here. He's going to move this down. He's got an Abrupt Decay to take care of that on Domri if he wants to. And he's got a Ground Seal in his hand as well. He's got a Ground Seal, so he doesn't care about Domri. I'm a little bit surprised by that, as he's going to draw Thunderbolt Hellkite and pass the turn back. Would you have taken care of Domri there with Abrupt Decay?
I feel somebody might suspect that Anthony's deck is very creature light.
Farseek, the draw.
Yeah.
He's just going to pass the turn back, so Anthony not really doing anything of consequence right now.
Yeah, it's possible he just doesn't respect Anthony's Domri that much because it's just not that much in the way of creatures. He could also just be at all times concerned with Staticaster Peddler. Is another thing too.
That's true. Humash the Fell's going to come down here for CJ. And maybe he just wants to have that Abrupt Decay on reserve to be able to break up the combo at any point in time.
Yeah. Although the Domri makes it more likely that he does fire. All right, so he's going to fire it off here.
So he is going to clear things up. And I guess he knows that Anthony's top card is a miss anyway, as you guys see him draw the Farseek at home. So I guess he's more than comfortable pulling the trigger knowing that he's not going to draw a good card. Doesn't want him to see another one. So Farseek's going to resolve there for Anthony. Let's search out an Overgrown Tomb. And after shuffling here, it's going to pass the turn back, but he's going to be a little under a bit of duress from a lot of different areas.
Yep.
Hunt Match of the Fells, the Wolf Token attacking his life total. Liliana beginning to attack the hand. As we even, Patrick saw, Liliana didn't even tick up last turn, which, if you're Anthony, is horrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Because that means that all of CJ's hand is pure gasoline.
Yeah, his hand was Thorax Husk, or sorry, it was Thundermaw Staff of Nim, so CJ pretty confident those two cards are better than whatever the worst card is in Anthony's hand.
And there is your Staffinen, so he's going to use all his mana on this turn to establish his card drawing engine. That is also going to be able to slowly but surely attack Anthony's life total. So he is in a world of trouble right now, and Steam Fence is not going to turn anything around. Going with that Water Grave and whatever that mystery card is in his hand. It looks like an Undying Evil. Is that what I see? It is, a one copy of Undying Evil. It's in his sideboard that's currently in his hand. Staffinen going to go upstairs. Hunt Match of the Fells going to flip into Ravager of the Fells. 2 damage going to Anthony's head. And after 2 more cards coming here in the form of Woodland Cemetery and Rootbound Crag. This one's all but over, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to come across here for 6. Going to come out the door with the old Thragtusk. And we'll finally see Liliana probably tick up here. Yep. There we go. Anthony going to discard a land, as will CJ. Anthony going to untap. He's going to draw 1 more card. What do we find? Evil Twin. Yeah, well, copying a Thragtusk isn't so bad, but all this flooding that's taking place here.
Yeah.
Might be a little too late.
Copy that Thragtusk.
Gonna give himself 5 life. Try to fight back a little bit here, but when it's a matter of Liliana staffing in, drawing cards, Liliana making you discards, Hunt Match of the Fellows and Thragtusk attacking your life total. It's just too much to overcome. You don't see Jun get in this position that often, but when it is able to, it does typically win the game. As you see a Huntmaster drawn and a Garruk Primal Hunter drawn. Ugh. Gross.
Yeah.
So Liliana, going to happen here. You're going to see Undying Evil get cast, targeting the Evil Twin, which is a copy of Thragtusk. So not a bad exchange. Especially going to 1 mana, get myself a Beast Token and 5 more life. There you guys do see Undying Evil on the screen. But the dragon is not going to come down yet. He's going to start with Garruk Primal Hunter. I thought he may lead off with the dragon.
Yeah. I feel like he's pretty close to just being able to beat down, though maybe not anymore. Maybe that second Thragtusk is enough where CJ feels the game's going to go on long enough that he sort of wants to get this invested plays in first.
We're going to see CJ's Thragtusk come across here, because if it does trade with the Beast Token, the Evil Twin can't kill the Thragtusk, and if Evil Twin gets brave and steps in the way, then he clears out that problem. So I like that attack there. He's going to pass the turn back. So Anthony playing off the top of his deck. What does he find? He finds, and is it Static Caster? Not going to have much of an effect on this board. He does just pass the turn back. Staffinen going to go upstairs, going to knock Anthony down to 20. 2 cards coming for Mr. Moore. Number 1 is a Tragic Slip.
Very, very good draw.
Number 2 is a Forest. He's getting to the point where he's almost able to start playing 2 cards a turn, so that Huntmaster can start flipping back and forth and back and forth. Wonder what he saw in the. Wonder what CJ saw in one of these games here that made him want to bring in that ground, or leave in that ground seal. Excuse me. Maybe just nothing better to sideboard in.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
Yeah, taking a look here. Yeah, nothing that really stands out to you is something that Ground Seal would stop from the 4-color Static Caster deck. So just a little bit surprised. Maybe sideboarding in that in preemptively. Deathrite Shaman, okay, sure. Yeah, may have saw Tracker's Instinct, expected Burial Rites perhaps. He has 4 colors. So there's certainly a line of thinking where that could be completely rational. This Thragtusk is going to try to come across here. CJ going, are you going to Evil Twin this yet?
Yeah, I don't know why we're not running out our Thundermaw here, unless we're still debating about.
Hey, it looks like he's reaching now. I'm a little surprised he's holding that dragon in reserve too.
I think it's about time.
There we go.
Okay.
No more fooling around. Thundermaw's here. He's going to come across with the dragon in the sky, the Thragtusk on the ground. Looks like we're going to see an Evil Twin activation take care of the front half of that Thragtusk.
Get another beast. I assume we're going to Tragic Slip now to finish off the Evil Twin.
Yeah, probably get that thing out of the way now. See him put that second beast into play from the Garruk Primal Hunter, taking up the 5. Tragic Slip will take care of that Evil Twin. The Morbid makes it more than good enough. Beast Token will come into play because that Evil Twin was a copy of Thragtusk. And because 2 spells happen, Huntmaster of the Fells, come on back to the party, my friend. 2 life and a Wolf Token for you, CJ. The only card here that I think can turn this game around, Patrick, is a Bonfire of the Damned. And maybe I spoke a little too soon.
No, it's not a shabby draw. I think he's probably just facing lethal next turn.
Yeah,
unfortunately, I don't think he has enough time.
Sitting at 10, Olivia is a card, that can turn a game around all by itself, but
I don't think he has enough breathing space.
Yeah, I don't think so either, as he is going to cast Olivia Voldaren. So many creatures in play right now for CJ. Staffinen activation as well.
It's got a Wolf Run.
Yeah, the Wolf Run is the other one too that really does put the put the game out of reach. He's going to draw 2 cards, Woodland Cemetery and Olivia Voldaren of his own. So I'm going to Legend Rule that. You're going to see a response here. You can shoot down the Huntmaster if you'd like. Yep. So that's what you're going to see happen. Well, with that Olivia off the table, looks like the coast is clear to me. And the Wolf Run's certainly going to help. So here come all those beast tokens, that Thunderball in the air. At the end of the day,
lethal on board.
Yeah, it is going to be a lethal attack, and we are going to see CJ Moore with Jun defeat Anthony Schweigl playing 4-color. Is it Static Caster? A matchup that I think is pretty favorable for Jun.
Yeah, a lot of spot removal. A lot of spot removal to pick apart all the shop that's trying to get set up. And the Jun deck is just so much more efficient at brawling on the ground. You have way more spot removal. You have Bonfire of the Dam is a huge breaker, and so you're leaning very heavily on Static-Caster or Peddler to sort of catch you up with what the Jun deck's doing, and that's just a hard thing to get set up.
Yeah, it's so easy for them to break that up that it is pretty difficult. Alternatively, the Jun deck does have some cards in their sideboard that they're able to board in these green mirrors that get a little bit more grindy, like a Staffinen, like additional Garrett Primal Hunters, that really this 4-color Static Caster just doesn't have access to. You look for a card that's really kind of a breaker, let them draw some cards, get some advantage. They just don't exist over here. The best you'll find is 1 copy of Rakdos Return,